individual flowers and held them up to his nose and said, here's a lily and you can smell that. He was able to take some deep breaths. And my husband woke up probably about 6 that morning and went down to check on him, and then he came and woke me up and said, he's gone. And that was it. So it was hard, obviously, but it was also really, really lovely and really beautiful. I never imagined that I could feel so much joy while watching a friend die. Sounds very strange, but it's just so relieved that he was finally free and in a place where he was loved and with people who cared about him so much. So we definitely gave him a good send-off.
He has been very instrumental in shining a light on injustice in American courts. Put a bright light on the fact that thousands of prisoners in this country are sitting in solitary confinement. He let the world know what is going on in American prisons today.
Herman's passing was noted in Congress as a fighter against the injustice of long-term solitary confinement.
They killed the man through neglect. The prison didn't have any kind of scanning equipment. A month before Herman left prison, one of those scanners was being put into the hospital at the prison, so they can possibly diagnose other prisoners properly. That's a legacy.
Herman Wallace died a free man after 41 years in solitary confinement.
I think that in some ways my life has played a significant role in the struggle, revolutionary in the workplace. And I think this is the voice of the voice. Even when I walk out the gate, it's going to be a constant struggle. It's almost like water boiling. It's just me from one phase to another, So I think I'll just take up where I left off when I get out.
With Robert King released and Herman Wallace dead, Albert Woodfox was the last surviving member of the Angola Three behind bars. In 2013, the federal court in Louisiana once again judged Albert's conviction to be unsound, and again, the state refused to release him. Forced to wait for yet another appeal at the Fifth Circuit Court, Albert was still deemed a risk to other prisoners, and so was kept in solitary confinement, where he was subject to daily humiliations.
Every time you think that you're moving forward and making some progress, they go do something that's just dumb. And I think the strip searches is the best example of how they just resort to whatever tactics they want, even though a court has ruled almost 30 years earlier that you can't do that. This is personal between the Department of Corrections and Albert. They're going above and beyond to do outrageous things, to, one, humiliate, two, to make their life just a living hell.
My biggest fear is that Albert's released, everybody is happy, everybody go away happy, and then the continuation of this injustice that was inflicted on him is inflicted upon someone else, and then it take them 40 years, and then the next one 40 years.
We're hoping that the judge will use tomorrow
equation as well, because this case is just, not just about legal precepts, it's about morality as well. And this is what we are hoping that the justices do the right thing.
In 2014, despite all the appeals from the state, the Fifth Circuit upheld the judge's ruling and unanimously agreed that Albert's conviction was unsound. But Buddy Caldwell was determined to keep Albert in jail. He moved him to the prison in the shadow of the St. Francisville courthouse, where he was going to try him for the third time. Both sides prepared for another grueling struggle through the courts. But in an unprecedented declaration, the federal judge insisted that Albert had no prospect of a fair trial and ordered his immediate release.
So, when you ask why, what obsession, that the state has in continuing this, this persecution of Albert, I call it persecution, not prosecution, is because I think they're trying to validate their careers. In order to do that, they have to make sure their conviction is secured. Buddy Caldwell, it's kind of hard to figure out just exactly what motivates this individual. But anyway, I'm hopeful for Albert's sake. It could happen. We feel like it's close. Or it's getting closer. How's that?
On the 12th of June, 2015, the media gathered in St. Francisville in expectation of Albert's release.
Woodfox's immediate release. We are so sorry that did not happen today. Thank you. Thank you.
Although the Fifth Circuit had agreed that Albert's conviction was unsound, it decided that the judge had gone too far in dismissing the state's demands to retry him.
I've faced a lot of disappointments over the last 45 years of my life. Why should this be any different? You hope for something for so long, but underneath all that, you figure that I'm going to die in prison.
It says a lot about America. America is not just a country. It is a country that prides itself, with even-handed democracy, and it has failed. It's failed in this particular case. Albert remained in prison.
It's unbelievable. My case has been overturned 3 times. That is unheard of in the history of American judicial system. 3 times. And each time, I was re-indicted by another unconstitutional impaneled grand jury. But I'm never going to give up hope.
Albert's case highlights all the bad that's involved in our system. It's still my cause. I'm still going to work every day to make sure that people who are wrongly convicted get out, that people who are in solitary arbitrarily are out, and it's bipartisan. Senator McCain believes that. I believe that. President Obama believes that.
Then there was an election for the office of Louisiana Attorney General. After a campaign dogged by accusations of cronyism, Buddy Caldwell's 8-year reign seemed to be coming to an end.
It doesn't look good now. I can't say that it looks great, but at the same time, I'm not going to concede something that I hadn't lost. I've had too many juries stay out for too long.
It is ironic that he said that as long as he was Attorney General, he would stay in. Albert outlived that.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and The voters of the state of Louisiana have made their choice in the Attorney General's race.
Every once in a while you get lucky. And I think that's what happened with me. As a Buddy Caldwell had won, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Maybe another conversation, but not this one. It was kind of like surreal. The lawyers was using their football analogy. I think the very first thing they said, well, we on the 5-yard line, you know. And then the next day it would come back, well, we on the 4 line. Then it was a 3 and it was a 2. And I think it was Thursday when they come in and they say touchdown. You're going home tomorrow.
Son, it's time we had the talk.
No doubt. T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places, so even here I can use my new iPhone 13 Pro with 5G to share this video I made with your mom in cinematic mode. What? Plus, with speeds as fast as Wi-Fi nationwide, I can upload this fast.
I'm not sure you want to share that.
Too late. Already hit send.
T-Mobile has more 5G bars in more places than anyone. Just one of the reasons T-Mobile is the leader in 5G.
Take it easy, buddy. Don't look at me like that.
What's going on?
These in-game purchases really add up, Jake from State Farm. Now, go on, get it!
Oh, hey.
Get it, yeah!
Don't give up what you love. State Farm has options like Drive Safe and Save, so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Really?
Yeah.
You're coming home with me!
Surprisingly great rates that fit any budget. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
This Saturday through Monday, get 50% off your purchase online, only at OldNavy.com.
Now to some breaking news. A plea deal will mean the release of a man who has been locked up for more than 40 years.
Albert Woodfox, one of the prisoners known as the Angola 3, celebrated his 69th birthday by walking out of a Louisiana jail.
Well, I'm not pleading guilty to killing somebody that I didn't kill. One of my attorneys said, no. We're trying to work out a plea deal where both sides can walk away feeling they won, you know.
Albert Woodfox pleaded no contest this morning to the death of an Angola prison guard. Today's plea deal to a lesser charge means that Woodfox will be released.
And Woodfox has maintained his innocence and says he only took the plea deal because of concerns about his age and health.
It didn't become real to me until my brother walked me through the door. And I couldn't believe it because one thing I kept telling myself, stand tall, be proud, you earn this. And the first thing that happened when I took my first step is one of my knees broke. And my brother grabbed me. And thankfully the car was in the way, and I was able to sit in the car with some dignity rather than just getting up off the ground.
How are you feeling? How do you feel?
Right now, I'm just resigned to trying to adjust being free. I'm not allowing myself to go beyond those thoughts.
Okay, we have to leave.
It's strange because I consider myself to be free. My body may have been held in captivity, but from the time I joined the Black Panther Party, my mind has grown. You know, I didn't just survive CCR, and I became stronger.